Hello, I'm back with another Swim Talk video, and I want to build up on the both former videos I did about the crystal red and the crystal black and the blue tigers. It wasn't an accident that I exactly choose this kind of shrimps because they are the parents of the Tibees, and the Tibee genetic, based on their traits, the traits did a lot of mutation along the way, and I am in Tibee genetic for 12 years now. I started in 28, and I have to say the genetic, especially with freshwater shrimp, is a very large field where you can dig in very deep too. And the problem is that you barely will find some informations or some articles about genetics that go some deeper into the stuff, and because it's not easy to grab some information just from the internet or wherever, I thought I could share my personally experience that I got in the last 12 years, and I already had the opportunity to talk about at several shrimp events. Especially I was invited in Warsaw in 2018 at a really interesting kind of aquaristic and shrimp convention, because this was more science-based and a lot of speakers were invited, and it was a big university event, so it was for me. I'm not a scientist, but I took the opportunity and created a level system for Tibee genetics, and I introduced this level system to the audience, and yes, I think it was a great success. But I realized the informations were too much to bring it down into 1 or 2 hours of speaking. Some months ago we started to publish this level system in the well-known Caridina magazine, what is a German magazine for specialists in shrimps and in other invertebrates. I'll put the links to the magazine under the video. You will find it in the description. The Caridina magazine already translated this article into the English language. I will put the link to that as well. The 6 levels includes the important phenotypes that build on each other in a process of time and results in those phenotypes you already know from the current market, and those phenotypes that are famous and were famous for a lot of years. And this is because their traits are highly reactive and have a great tendency to mutate and interact with neighbor traits or interact with other expressions. I'm a little bit sorry about the material I just can show you. It really wasn't in my mind in 28 and 2010 and next years that I would need material so much years later to show the process, and I just took poor pictures. And as well, I started so primitive. I just had 4 small 20-liter tanks, and 3 or 4 10-liter tanks on the window side. At this point, I maybe have to warn you, because it will be a long way until we will reach a level 6 explanation, and I did a long forward now, and so just have a start with the level 1. Finally, we are ready now to start the crossbreeding project, and we choose the mated shrimps, put them in a tank, and we wait what will happen. It took a while until they had offspring. I did this initial crossing several times, and I did it with several kind of tigers. But the blue tigers at least gave the most exciting results. Not every constellation worked well. Sometimes just 1 or 2 females of a bigger group got pregnant, and always there was a danger that they will drop the eggs. The term bigger group, of course, we have to see on the realistic relation. I already mentioned I just had a couple of shrimps and a couple small tanks, and I'm sure we would get much more faster results if we have the possibility to put hundreds of shrimps in one tank and have 100 tanks in the bag, so much more fertile pairs could find and match together. Even if females buried through all the time until end, it could happen that whole batches disappeared soon and no babies seen ever again. Yes, this mostly happened in an age until 2 weeks or 3 weeks maybe, and that happens quite often. As it is pretty regular within the shrimp hobby, patience will pay off, and someone we will have a F1 colony swimming in our tanks. With these F1 shrimps, we reached already the level 1, and the level 1 is pretty fast described compared to the other levels. The first thing what is to recognize is that the phenotypes are pretty similar. This is related to the pattern and to the colors, and we can say they fully follow the first Mendelian rule of uniformity. With aging and maturing, it was to notice that some shrimps are pretty different in their body shape. As a few male shrimps had a tendency to mature very early and never reach the full size, and those males were pretty fertile. I observed some strange behavior with the males either, as they often dance without a freshly molted female was present. Could be due to the fact males just misinterpreted the message of the pheromones that shrimps put out to communicate with another, especially when it's about pairing. In opposite to the males, the females sometimes grow very big and huge, and some need 9 or 12 months to mature. It made me think that a kind of heterosis effect could play a role here. Another strange thing with the females were that they had sometimes problems to build up their saddle properly. It means they just had a saddle on one side of the body. Additionally, those females were able to remove the eggs and the saddle again so that they didn't make it to the next molt with the eggs. At the end, you see there were a lot of difficulties that made it not easier to get the F2 or further generations of this kind of pairing. Entirely, it took 2 or 3 years of breeding and trials to get a good number of F2 and F3 to go on with this project. For me, all this is worth because the results we will see in level 2 are really amazing, and I will talk about the next time. Here is a little preview, and I hope you liked this clip, and I will put some terms in the end so you maybe could do an own research for them in case there is a need for. So long and bye.